Most people think they understand how wealth works. You work, earn money, deposit it in a bank account, maybe invest some of it in stocks, save a little for retirement, and hope that over time your savings slowly grow. This is the financial path most people follow, and because it is so common, it creates the illusion that this is how wealth works everywhere. But the truth is very different. Behind the visible economy that most people interact with every day, there exists a hidden system that manages, protects, and multiplies the wealth of the richest individuals and institutions on Earth. This system is not illegal, and it is not necessarily secret in the sense that it is completely hidden, but it is so complex and layered that most people never notice it. Yet it quietly controls trillions of dollars and plays a major role in shaping the modern global economy. To understand this hidden system, we first need to understand something important about how the ultra-wealthy think about money. For the average person, wealth is simply money stored in a bank account or invested in a few financial products. But for the ultra-rich, wealth is rarely kept in a simple bank account. In fact, holding large amounts of money in a normal account would actually be inefficient and risky. Instead, wealthy individuals structure their wealth through a network of financial entities that are designed to protect their assets while allowing them to grow. These structures often include investment funds, holding companies, trust arrangements, private banking services, and international investment networks. Each layer serves a purpose, and together they create a system that allows wealth to move across countries, industries, and markets in a way that ordinary investors cannot easily replicate. At the center of this system are enormous financial institutions known as global asset managers. These institutions manage the wealth of governments, pension funds, corporations, and extremely wealthy individuals. The amount of money they control is staggering. Some of these institutions manage assets worth trillions of dollars, making them more financially powerful than many national economies. Their job is to invest this capital into businesses, infrastructure projects, technology companies, energy resources, real estate, and global markets. Because of the massive scale of these investments, a relatively small number of financial institutions end up owning significant shares in thousands of major corporations around the world. This gives them a unique position in the global economy. While they do not run these companies directly, their investments give them influence over corporate decisions and the direction of entire industries. Another important part of the hidden wealth system is private banking. Private banks operate very differently from the banks used by most people. Instead of offering simple accounts and loans, private banks provide highly specialized financial services designed specifically for extremely wealthy clients. These services include wealth management strategies, global investment planning, asset protection structures, and long-term financial planning for future generations. Private bankers often work closely with families whose wealth spans multiple generations, helping them organize their assets in ways that preserve their fortune while reducing exposure to financial risks. For families with large fortunes, the main challenge is not just earning more money, but ensuring that their wealth survives economic crises, political changes, and shifting financial systems. When we combine these asset managers, private banks, corporate investments, and international financial structures, we begin to see the outline of something much larger. Global wealth operates through what can best be described as a network. Money flows constantly between investment funds, multinational corporations, financial markets, private banking institutions, and international investment hubs. This network allows capital to move across borders almost instantly, seeking opportunities in different markets and protecting itself from potential risks in any single location. For example, if one country experiences economic instability, wealth can quickly shift into investments located in other regions. This ability to move capital across the global economy provides enormous flexibility for those who operate within the system. One reason this system developed is because large concentrations of wealth naturally attract risk. Inflation can reduce the value of money over time. Political changes can alter tax laws and financial regulations. Economic crises can cause sudden market crashes that destroy billions of dollars in value almost overnight. To protect against these threats, wealthy individuals and institutions developed financial structures that spread their assets across different investments, countries, and industries. This diversification allows them to reduce risk while continuing to grow their wealth. Over time, these protective strategies evolved into a highly sophisticated global financial architecture that quietly manages enormous amounts of capital. But perhaps the most important insight about the hidden system behind global wealth is that the richest individuals do not simply hold money. Instead, they hold ownership. Wealth at the highest levels is rarely stored as cash. It is stored as ownership of assets that generate value over time. These assets can include corporations, technology platforms, land, infrastructure, intellectual property, natural resources, and investment portfolios. Owning these assets means controlling parts of the economy that produce goods, services, and economic growth. And because these assets continue to generate income, they allow wealth to grow far beyond what simple savings accounts could ever achieve. This is why the global wealth system is so powerful. It does not rely on static piles of money sitting in vaults or bank accounts. Instead, it operates through dynamic ownership of the global economy itself. Wealth moves through investments, businesses, and financial structures that constantly adapt to changes in markets and technology. As long as these assets continue to produce value, the wealth connected to them continues to grow. When we look at the global economy from this perspective, it becomes clear that the visible financial world most people interact with is only one layer of a much larger system. Beneath the surface lies a complex network of institutions, investments, and financial structures that quietly manage trillions of dollars. This hidden system influences markets, shapes industries, and determines where capital flows across the world. And once you begin to understand how this system works, a deeper question naturally emerges. If global wealth moves through such a powerful and interconnected network, then who ultimately controls the direction of that network, and how much influence does it have over the future of the global economy?